The art of forgiveness. How to forgive someone. If someone has wronged you in any way, usually the average human being would subconsciously hold a grudge against that person and ultimately hate that person for what they did. Because that person probably did not say sorry for what they did. Or maybe they're not even conscious of what they did. With forgiveness, it's really hard to forgive someone who wronged you. Whether they betrayed you or hurt you physically or mentally, anything. It's extremely hard to forgive someone. And most of that difficulty comes from this hate building up inside our heart for that person. The bigger it gets, the harder it is to forgive. I will start off by saying that the reason why people like that person who you wish to forgive hurt you, or why people hurt people, is because they're hurt themselves. I hurt people before because I was hurt. There was someone that I used to hurt or try to hurt because they hurt me. But that it didn't go anywhere because what I had to do was forgive that person instead of be just as bad as they were. Forgiving someone releases two people. That person and yourself. You release all the hate and darkness from your heart that person made you have. So first, I will explain to you the first time I truly forgave someone, and then I'll explain to you the steps. It'll make more sense this way. There was this friend that I had, and they weren't even conscious of it, hurting me. And this anger grew, and I didn't want to be friends with them anymore because I was like, oh, this person, and I'd always talk bad about them, and I'd try to still be friends with them, but I just couldn't anymore. So then one day I woke up and I had a dream and then a realization, and then I was like, no, I have to forgive this person. Because obviously this person was hurting me, but I was also hurting myself. That morning I said, you know what, today I'm going to forgive that person. And I did. It didn't take 5 minutes. Sometimes it takes a day. Sometimes it takes a week. However long it takes. For me, it took me 3 days to realize it and almost one day to fulfill it. So, what I did, I got out of bed and I went on the computer to write their childhood. Their childhood, like most people, there were some factors that ultimately sculpted them into being the person that they are. And there's good things and bad things with that. So this person was extremely lonely as a child, and their parents ultimately weren't really there. And their parents would give them what they asked for, physical things, but not attention, kind of thing. But when I analyzed this person's childhood, and it wasn't just that, I wrote a whole Word document of their childhood. If you use your intuition, when you read tarot cards, you do that, but with their childhood, just use your intuition. Or if you even know their childhood, then just write it. And once you do that, I cried at the end. I cried because it was oh my god, this person. Because it's sad. It's really sad. So once you do this and you get really deep into it and you're typing, towards the end, when you're almost done talking about their child, you write them a letter or something I see you now. Like, I know why you hurt me in those ways and why you didn't even realize it. And then you ultimately end the Word document by saying, I forgive you. After that, I talked to my mom about it, and we reanalyzed it together. But I just talked about it with my mom, and it felt really good. When I tell you, this person texted me after, saying, oh, I really miss you, like, we should hang out. And our friendship, amazing. It became real again. And I no longer had that darkness in my heart. And I felt so light and happy after it. Phase 1 is realizing or having a dream or a realization that you have to forgive this person, or that you have to practice forgiveness for something. You can't force forgiveness either. I kind of knew 3 days before that I had to forgive this person, but I felt really angry and really anxious about it. But then I just had to calm down, and then that third day, that morning, I was like, okay, it's time to forgive. Phase 2 of forgiveness is analyzing their childhood. Childhood is so important. It's before society takes us and molds us into hell. It's where our true selves live. So the inner child, I don't know if you've heard of that before, but it's the essence of our childhood. As a child, children are always faced with really tough battles because it's the first time that a child sees darkness and that they're touched by it. So as a child, you're just like dancing like la 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 la, and then boom, you lose your innocence. This will truly traumatize a child. Whatever happened, whatever person hurt them or thing that hurt them, it will traumatize them because it'll be the first thing that they ever lived. The first time the darkness had touched them. And that darkness is bad, is negative, but ultimately it sculpts them and lets them grow into the person that they want to be. The best version of themselves. So that's why when you analyze their childhood, it really tells you who they are. You'll never truly understand what they went through because you can't experience it from their point of view and from their eyes. But if you analyze it and read into it, you'll begin to understand why and how they're like that. And then you won't judge them anymore. Because you'd put yourself in their skin and you'd be like, oh, if I went through that, then I would probably end up doing the same thing. Phase 3 is writing them a letter. So you don't have to give them this letter. It can be a short or long one, whatever. Once you've analyzed their childhood, you write them a letter and you tell them things like, I see you. I understand why you're like that. And it's almost like you're sad. Because when I analyze their childhood, I'm a visual person and I saw them. And what I saw towards the end was, oh my god, I forgot about that. Well, it's very personal. And I'd like to keep some factors to myself. What I saw was a small child crying and alone. And of course it broke my heart. And it wasn't even the only thing I saw. The other thing I saw was really beautiful and it made me cry. Not tears of joy, neither tears of sadness. But just tears. When you write them this letter, you just tell them whatever you want to say. Whatever you didn't tell them before, or what you were too scared to tell them. Now, phase 4 is the one you've been waiting for. So that's when you forgive them. I feel this. If I think of a person that I don't agree with, like, okay, I'm not going to say anyone, just this really controversial person, if I just say, I forgive you, like, no I don't. But if I were to do it, I would imagine this person in front of me, and then I would visualize what was felt through the letter. Like with that person that hurt me, I saw their child self crying alone. And guess what I did? I went up to the child and I looked them in the eyes and I was like, you're okay. You're okay. And I gave him a big hug. And guess what I did after that? I said, I forgive you. And then I typed it out. I said, I forgive you. Because now that you have understood this person and have released your judgment towards this person, you can finally forgive them. Because you get it. You understand why they did that to you. You saw the good in them instead of only the bad. It is one of the most beautifulest things ever when you forgive someone. And phase 5 can be you being happy, you feeling really, really good and at peace, you feeling lighter, and this person or this thing manifesting into your life in a positive way. And this is just my method to forgive, because the last time I did it, it really worked. And I think analyzing their childhood and visualizing and feeling their true core and the good in them really are the most important ones. And they're the most, it's beautiful what you feel. I hope you enjoyed this video, and I hope you get to forgive whatever you want to forgive. And I hope you feel similar things that I felt, because it felt really good. So, I'm really proud of you, and I respect you for wanting to forgive someone, because it's a really hard thing to do. And I wish you love and fulfillment. Okay.